History loves a hero. We are told stories of genius generals and miraculous victories, but Rome did not dominate because it won one war. Rome dominated because it built a system that could keep winning. While rival kingdoms relied on the brilliance of a single king or the luck of a single season, Rome scaled war like an institution. It was a repeatable playbook of citizen manpower, flexible tactics, and a logistical engine that never stopped turning. History remembers the names Caesar, Scipio, Augustus, but Rome did not dominate because it produced one genius. Rome dominated because it built a system that turned every leader into a gear in a massive, unstoppable machine. Today, we aren't just looking at battles, we are looking at the mechanics of an empire. This is the blueprint of how a small city-state on the Tiber became the undisputed master of the world. In the 4th century BCE, Rome was led by men like Appius Claudius Caecus. He wasn't just a politician, he was the visionary who built the first great road, the Via Appia, and the first aqueduct. He understood that Rome's power lived in its infrastructure. Rome's genius wasn't just killing its enemies, it was absorbing them. After the Latin War, Rome didn't just enslave the defeated, they created a tiered system of allies, socii. These cities kept their local gods and leaders, but they owed Rome one thing: manpower. When the Greek king Pyrrhus invaded with his elite phalanx and war elephants, he expected the barbarians in Rome to surrender after a few losses. He won the battles, but as he famously noted, another Roman army rose as soon as he defeated the first. He was fighting a demographic engine he couldn't stop. Rome could lose the battle and still win the war through sheer grinding resilience. By 464 BCE, Rome hit a wall: Carthage. This was the Mediterranean's reigning superpower, a naval empire built on trade and formidable fleets. To win, Rome had to do something it had never done: become a naval power. During the First Punic War, Rome lost entire fleets to storms and combat. In a single disaster, they lost 100,000 men. Most civilizations would have sued for peace. Rome simply built another fleet, and another. The Second Punic War was a clash of two titans, the tactical genius Hannibal Barca and the Roman system of resilience. After the massacre at Cannae, Rome turned to Fabius Maximus, nicknamed the Delayer. Fabius refused to fight Hannibal in a direct battle, choosing to starve him out through attrition. He knew the Roman system could survive a stalemate longer than Hannibal's mercenaries could survive a war. Eventually, a young, bold general named Scipio Africanus took the Roman playbook to Africa. Scipio didn't just copy Hannibal's tactics, he refined them, using Roman discipline to finally break Carthage at the Battle of Zama. They didn't need to beat Hannibal in Italy, they needed to break the world that supported him. Why was the Roman legion so effective? It was designed for the mess of real combat. At the Battle of Pydna, Lucius Aemilius Paulus faced the legendary Macedonian phalanx, the same formation Alexander the Great used to conquer the world. Unlike the rigid Greek phalanx, which shattered on uneven ground, the Roman maniple was a flexible subunit. Think of it as a jointed army. Paulus watched as the rigid Greek spears struggled on the broken terrain of the hillside. He ordered his smaller, flexible maniples to leak into the gaps of the Greek line. In the close-quarters carnage that followed, the Roman short sword proved that a flexible machine will always beat a rigid wall. A Roman soldier spent as much time with a shovel as a sword. Every single night, even on the move, the legion built a fortified, standardized camp. Amateur generals talk about strategy, professionals talk about logistics. Rome reduced the friction of the world. While history remembers Marcus Licinius Crassus for his wealth, his real contribution to the military was the brutal enforcement of discipline and supply. During the uprising of Spartacus, Crassus showed that a Roman army was more afraid of its general than the enemy. Roman roads weren't just for trade, they were military highways designed for speed. They were built straight, ignoring terrain, allowing the legions to move faster than any enemy could anticipate. Crassus moved 40,000 men with surgical precision, building a wall across the toe of Italy to trap the rebels. To Rome, geography was just another variable to be engineered. Armies that eat consistently can campaign longer than outlast any opponent. Conquest is easy, holding is hard. Rome's secret weapon was not the sword, but the bureaucrat. The man who perfected the golden handcuffs of Roman rule was Augustus. He realized that if you gave a local chieftain in Gaul or Judea a Roman toga, a seat in a local senate, and a steady stream of tax revenue, they would stop fighting Rome and start managing it for you. Augustus turned conquest into a franchise. Roman law provided a predictable framework for business and safety. If you followed the rules, the system protected you. This Pax Romana wasn't just a lack of war, it was a structured environment where it was more profitable to be Roman than to fight Rome. He co-opted local elites to keep order and collect revenues, turning former enemies into partners. But a machine this powerful has a cost. The system began to strain under its own success. The Gracchi brothers tried to warn the Senate that the disappearance of the middle-class farmer would destroy the republic. They saw that wealth from the provinces was enriching only the elite, while the soldiers who won the land returned to find their own farms bought up by rich senators. Finally, Gaius Marius stepped in. To solve the manpower shortage, he opened the army to the landless poor. This saved the borders, but it changed the soldiers' loyalty. They no longer fought for the Senate and people of Rome. They fought for the general who promised them a retirement plan. The same system that one created pressure internally. Wealth inflows distorted politics, and the machine began to eat itself. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it wasn't conquered by a single man. From the roads of Appius Claudius to the reforms of Marius and the diplomacy of Augustus, it was a relay race of systems. It was designed to absorb shock, learn from defeat, and grind forward until there was no one left to fight. The playbook was perfect until the players became more powerful than the rules. The machine was unstoppable, but the forces it unleashed ultimately tore it apart from within. What lessons can we learn from the greatest empire the world has ever known?